It's been a year and a half with my GX 550 already, and in today's video I'm going to share with you all the good, the bad, and the ugly, and if I do it all over again knowing what I know now. Yo, what's going on everyone? Welcome back. My name's Will and this is the Wimby YouTube channel. Gotta hit you with the quick sales pitch. If you get to the end of this video, you enjoyed it, you like this type of content, you like the GX 550, think about hitting that subscribe button. Totally free to subscribe, just sends you a quick notification whenever I'm posting some new content out there. But if you don't want to subscribe, that's cool. A like is always really appreciated as well. Now with that out of the way, let's get into today's video. So like I said in the intro, it's already been a year and a half and over 30,000 miles with my 2024 Lexus GX 550. Been a hell of a ride with this vehicle, and I figured it'd be a great opportunity to just check in with you guys once again, give you all an update, let you know what the whole ownership experience has been like so far, and yeah, just kind of shoot the shit with you guys for a little bit. So I'm going to turn you guys around. If you're new here, give you a full rundown of my GX. So here it is. This is my 2024 Lexus GX 550. It is a premium plus trim, so it's one step up from the base model, which is the premium. As you can see, do have some mild modifications done to it. We'll get into that in a minute, but figured give you a full walk around here. It's obviously black, caviar exterior paint. On the interior, we have the saddle two-toned interior, which in my opinion is really awesome. Then in the back, we have the two captain's chairs configuration right here. So you can get it optioned with either the two captain's chairs or the bench seat for the premium and luxury trims. You can see right here we have a pretty large Nuna car seat that is installed on one of the captain's chairs right there. So do get a few questions about that. You can install a car seat on the captain's chairs. And then if we scroll back to the rear, let me show you the cargo space. Have the third row folded down right now, but as you can see, this is kind of our family hauler. So we got a stroller, some fold out chairs, stuff like that, and the rear seats are now currently folded, giving you plenty of cargo space in the rear. So also very nice to have the space as well as the seating, and then give you another look right up here. But yeah, that's my spec for my GX. Pretty standard, no, nothing too crazy here. For the modifications, we are sitting on a Westcott Designs lift kit. I believe that is a 2.5-inch lift, and we did that primarily to fit these larger wheels and tires right here. Those are a set of 22-inch Vossen wheels on a set of 285/55 R22 Nitto Recon grapplers. We did all of these modifications, I'd say about 2 weeks into ownership of the GX, so it has spent basically all of its time with us on this wheel and tire setup. So yeah, we'll get into that a little bit later on pros and cons with the modifications and all of that. But if you want to have more information, more detailed explanation on all the modifications and trimming to get the bigger wheels and tires to fit, and you know, proper specs of everything, go check out this video that I have linked right here. I have a few different videos regarding the entire build, but yeah, those are going to be a little bit more detailed than this one today. But other than that, for modifications, we did some window tint up there, and then we have the Land Cruiser First Edition roof rack up there as well. So that more or less covers the entire build. I guess for those of you that don't know, the new GX 550 was a total redesign from the prior 460. Biggest difference, other than obviously like the aesthetics here, is going to be the power plant. The prior generation had the V8 engine. The new GX has the 3.4 liter twin turbo V6 that is commonly found across like a bunch of different Toyota and Lexus. I'm sure if you're like a Toyota or Lexus person, you already kind of know like the drama and controversy behind, you know, this engine and this power plant. I will say right off the bat, I do wish it still had a V8. That prior V8 was known for its reliability, being a very stout engine, very strong, reliable, low maintenance. So yeah, I do wish, you know, just being fully transparent here, that it does still have the V8, but I will say So far with me anyway, I've had no issues with this engine. I did have the well-known harsh downshift issue, and if you are a GX owner or you've been following the GX, I'm sure you know about that, but we will dive into that a little bit later. But as far as the whole power plant goes with the engine, I've had no issues whatsoever. Knock on wood here that stays that way. But yeah, I've seen a few other GX owners recently in the past few weeks say that they've had some engine issues. One of them actually coming out and stating that their engine seized up and is going to have to be replaced now. And I guess to piggyback off of that, we'll talk about a few different issues that I have gone through with my GX. Right off the bat, I had the squeaking brake issues, primarily when it was going into reverse. I'd get a horrible screeching noise with the brakes. Very common issue, especially with early model GXs. That was a service bulletin that Lexus posted, and you were to go in there, get it repaired. And ever since I did that, I haven't had any issues whatsoever. Next up after that was the hood flutter. They did release a service bulletin on that as well. Luckily for me, they were able to adjust the hinges and the stops, and I didn't have to go through the whole rebonding of the external skin for that repair. And then, like I said before, the biggest one and the most annoying one in my opinion was the harsh downshift from second to first when coming to a complete stop with the transmission. I had to do the transmission reset a few times. That was kind of like a band-aid fix that never really lasted, but about 6 to 8 months ago they actually released the full-on repair for it. It's a software update. I had that done. I've put, I think, like 12,000 miles on it since that whole update, and I've had no more harsh downshift. Other than that, I've had a few like random infotainment like glitches, specifically with like Apple CarPlay. When my phone is like connected, it'll randomly disconnect, or if me and my wife are both in the vehicle, it'll kind of jump between both of our phones and not properly sync up to one. But those are just very small, minor first world problems. The whole driving experience of the GX is honestly really great. This thing is so comfortable, it's so smooth, the power delivery is very linear. You know, for a twin turbo V6 engine, a lot of people, including myself, are always kind of concerned and worried about turbo lag. You don't really feel all too much turbo lag when you first get the vehicle going. It's a little bit more noticeable on like the upper end. You know, example being like if you're at highway cruising speeds and you go to punch it, it's not like, you know, instant torque hit like you would get from a higher displacement engine. You do feel the turbo lag a little bit more there, but the torque really hits in down low. So if you're going from a dead stop and you really need to accelerate to either get in front of someone or to merge or something like that, you're not really running into too much turbo lag there, which is really nice. I was kind of concerned about that. Turning was probably one of the biggest things I noticed right off the bat. Turning is super smooth. Turning radius for something this large was really shocking. It's great. You can, you know, turn on a dime with this thing, which is a breath of fresh air. And even with running like the larger wheels and tires now, I'm not really running into any rubbing issues or anything like that. So driving experience, comfort, all of that A+ with the GX. And over time, everything like on the interior as far as like fit, finish, and all of that has really held up very well. There's no like creaks or weird noises or anything like that. So quality wise on the interior as far as fit, finish, and even like, you know, the materials, I think it's absolutely great. A lot of people were complaining and shitting on the GX, saying that the materials felt like really cheap. I don't really feel that way. In my opinion, this is a, you know, utility kind of vehicle, right? It's the off-roader luxury SUV, so I feel like everything is kind of in line. And like we were talking about before, the biggest issue that I had with my GX was the harsh downshift, and ever since we got that latest software update, don't have that feeling whatsoever anymore. Before, like as you saw that I was coming down, you know, coming to a complete stop, yeah, it would have had a really big like jolt, and it would have been very noticeable, and it almost felt like the transmission was broken. Nothing like that anymore. Thank goodness. This thing has been shifting perfectly. Fuel economy, I'm averaging 13.9 miles per gallon right now, which again, it's nothing great. Doesn't really surprise me. It's a big SUV. It's not very aerodynamic. It's like a big cube basically. And I also put, you know, larger wheels and tires on this thing, so it's kind of to be expected, right? But a lot of people always like to lose their mind when they hear the whole fuel economy and all that with the GX. So for me, I'm just being a realist here. It's nothing that's, you know, all that surprising to me. I do wish I had a V8 if I was going to be getting fuel economy like this, but, you know, I digress from that. As far as maintenance goes, been really simple. Just your standard oil and filter changes. I believe I've done either 5 or 6 different services at this point, all been very standard, all done at the dealership. I've done a cabin filter change out as well as the air intake filter change out, and on my last prior servicing, which was the 30,000 mile interval service, they did a brake fluid flush, so we did that. That was like an additional $500. Other than that, it's just been very standard maintenance, as well as obviously like rotating the tires, do that at all intervals as well. I had purchased the service plan when I did the whole financing and all of that, and in my opinion, I don't necessarily think it was worth it. You only get allocated, I believe, like 2 services a year. So for some people, that's really great. But for someone who's driving the GX a lot and is having to do quite a few services per year, it's not really worth it, because you're still gonna have to come out of pocket in regards to those, because they're only allocated so many per year, and they only really want to service the vehicle when you're using that at like the 10,000 mile interval, which is what Lexus, you know, recommends doing. But I think on like these engines, doing like an oil change every 5,000 to 6,000 miles is the way to go, just to make sure everything's okay, and to just double check like that oil analysis, make sure you're not getting any sort of metal flakes in there. But that's just my 2 cents. I don't necessarily think the service program when you're doing the financing is really worth it. Gotten a few questions in regards to, am I going to be keeping the GX for a while, knowing that there's, you know, engine issues looming out there, the whole hybrid power plant coming for 2027, am I going to switch mine out for another one? And no, absolutely not. It's exactly how I want it. It's paid off, so there's no real need for me to, you know, swap it out for another one. In regards to the hybrid system one, no, absolutely not. It's come out saying that it's going to be the 4-cylinder. If I wanted the 4-cylinder hybrid, I would have gotten the LC over the GX. A few pros and cons with the GX. A major pro, in my opinion, is just the styling of the GX. I think it looks great. It has awesome road presence. Got a lot of compliments. A lot of people still rolling up, you know, to me like at red lights and asking, yo, what is that? I've never seen that Lexus before. That thing's sick. And obviously, you know, as a car guy, it always feels really good when someone, you know, compliments your vehicle. Another major pro is just, it's a very comfortable daily driver. We use this as the primary family hauler. We've taken this thing on a lot of road trips as a family. It's never given us any issues, and it's very comfortable to drive in. It's very easy to drive. It's my wife's daily driver. She doesn't have any issues with driving it. So yeah, I mean, those are some major pros for the GX 550. Some major cons are the fuel economy. It's nothing that surprises me, and I know I get like a lot of hate for even bringing it up, because it's like, what did you expect? And it's exactly what I expect, but it doesn't mean that it's not a con, right? The range isn't great, miles per gallon isn't great, the fuel tank isn't great. So yeah, you're going to be stopping at the gas station a little bit more for constant fill-ups, but it is what it is. And then another one I would guess is just now the reliability of these 3.4 V6 twin turbos. I haven't seen a lot of GX owners saying that they've been having engine issues, but a few of them have popped up over the past few months that I've seen, and obviously not everyone's on social media reporting their issues, so there's probably more out there that aren't being documented. But hopefully, and fingers crossed, mine continues to be healthy. And like I said, I have no plans on getting rid of this vehicle. I want to hold on to this one for a while. I want to see how many miles we can rack up and document the whole ownership experience for everyone out there. But yeah, those are just my pros and cons. If you guys are owners as well, comment yours down below and let's start a conversation with other prospective buyers out there. The modifications have been holding up great. It hasn't compromised the ride whatsoever. I know a few people are very skeptical of preload collars, which is what the Westcott design is. I've had 4 other vehicles that have all ran preload collars, so I'm no stranger to it at this point. Yes, it does add a little bit of more stiffness up front. Obviously, it's by adding preload. That's how you get the whole lift. but in my opinion, it's honestly not even anything really all that noticeable. And I actually was given a loaner GX when this one was down for service, and after driving a stock one to this one, I felt no difference whatsoever. So if you're concerned with that, I wouldn't worry about it. Will say one thing that you want to watch out for and something you want to pay attention to is your alignment. If you hit any large bump, any curb, pothole, anything like that, if you go through an automatic car wash that has like those guide rails on the bottom, it will knock your alignment out, especially with going with these much larger tires. So pay attention to that. If you feel any sort of like, you know, pulling or see any sort of weird tire wear, you probably want to get your alignment checked out. But yeah, that's just something to look out for. And also, if you are going to be getting your wheels and tires and lift installed, make sure you go to a shop that can do a real proper alignment for wheels and tires. That's just my 2 cents. But yeah, guys, I think that's gonna do it for this one. Wanted to check in with y'all and just share some updates with the GX 550. I know this is still a very popular trending vehicle, and there's not a lot of long-term owners out there on YouTube, so I'm just doing my part to share my information and just, you know, share the whole journey with you guys. If you have any questions or any concerns, comment down below. I'm always really quick to reply to everyone. I'm fully transparent on my channel, so no BS, nothing like that. What you see is what you get. I'm not endorsed by Lexus, although if you're watching this, you know, hit me up. I'll say whatever you want if you want to, you know, help me out with some vehicles here. As always, guys, my name's Will. This is the With Me YouTube channel. Like, comment, subscribe. All those things are always really appreciated. And I'll see you all in the next one. Later, everybody.